introduce us?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to the new Shop Talk, and it's kind of a very special one this time. We have our famous racer, Vinny Borboni. I didn't know how to.
You're thinking of Happy Days.
Borboni.
Yeah.
So and Vin's got his creation here that I can hardly describe it. I'm going to let Vinny talk a little bit about the bike.
Well, it's a Kawasaki H2, 750 cc's. It's a bike I bought when I was 16.
16. You've had this bike a long time.
I had it a long time, and when I bought it,
It was actually the same bike that you bought when you were 16.
Yes.
Oh.
This is it.
Wow.
Not the motor, but the bike, the frame. I guess is probably the only thing that's left.
Yes.
Right.
Half of the frame.
Yeah.
But when I bought it, it was kind of a hot rodded bike at the time. Like Denko pipes and ported cylinders, which was like the 80s,
80s
Hot
go
rod
fast
stuff.
stuff.
It was the hot rod shit for me,
Yeah.
right?
And, I'd rip around town, go to New England Dragway on Wednesday nights. It just absolutely fell in love with the bike. I mean, it was obviously pre-internet, so I didn't even know what these things were. I just heard about them.
Yeah.
And then picked up you guys remember, the Want Ad?
Oh, yeah.
Every Tuesday, yeah. Every Tuesday you go to the Want Ad.
Gotta get there, guy. Well, the other guy gets it, right? You and 20 other million people doing the same thing.
Exactly. You know which gas stations
Yep.
got it first.
Yeah.
Go there,
Your
get it.
truck showed up
Yeah.
and you could get it.
Yeah, go get it right away. So,
Fresh meat.
yeah. So, yeah, I bought it. It was $600 with another bike. So there's two of them for $600 total.
That's what this kind of stuff used to be back in the day, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
90s, I would assume, right? Early 90s?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just ripped around on it, had a great time with it, loved the bike, kept it obviously. And then in the early 2000s, I did an upgrade to it where I did my first monoshock in the back and like the Yamaha FZR 600 front end.
Yep.
And again, for that time, that was kind of the edge.
That was
Unique,
unique.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Then rode it around some more, and then in 2014, when I decided I wanted to road race,
Yeah.
I needed the motor. So the motor, that same motor is now my road race bike.
Yep.
And then this bike sat in my basement with no motor from 2014 up to 2020. And I decided, enough's enough.
I gotta get back into it.
Yeah, like, you probably have projects. It's like, you walk by it and you're just like, and then you just sigh, like, there's so many things I want to do, and it's not
That's when my phone started to ring. Hey, you got a clutch basket? You got this? You got a transmission?
I was missing a lot of parts. But
And you didn't have any idea that from that like, I don't know what you want to call it, 2010 era to 2020 era of the increase of demand or value of these things, right?
yeah, right. Sourcing parts was no longer a cheap.
It used to be like real easy. You could
Yeah.
go out and get, I need that, oh yeah, how much is that?
It's not easy anymore.
It's
not
not
easy.
easy anymore. You don't have to tell me. After that C1 carburetor issue last night.
One of my favorite things about this bike is the fact that, besides that Vince had the thing forever, is the engine number. This is an early motor, which a lot of the triple guys consider blasphemy. This one's this is 1200, which is
1200, yeah.
70. It's probably the first month and a half of production.
Oh, I'd say probably the first month. I'm sure they build, what, 300 a week?
I don't know, but I
Probably
would say
in
so.
that area, right?
So it's cool because it's a modified early bike,
Yeah.
and a lot of the guys
We
kind of talk about this.
And once you buy it, it's your bike.
Right, you do what you
want to do with it.
But Vin started modifying the bike before people were chasing the VIN numbers on them, and before the low engine numbers and frame numbers were worth anything.
Right. Yep. So then when I started back in on it in 2020, I had pretty much this envisioned, and really the only, the key, the thing that I said to myself when I built the bike was, at no point can I ever say that's good enough. Because half the time when you're making something, you're like, it's good enough, and then yeah, you move on. So if I ever caught myself saying that, stop, take a step back, either remake it or keep going until it was perfect.
You succeeded.
That's
Yes, you succeeded.
a perfectionist characteristic that you have. Which we'll get to later.
It's totally paid off in dividends because this bike has been around the internet and around the globe. It's still going round and round and round, and we laugh every time it resurfaces somewhere because it's on some blog, it's on Kawasaki Triple Facebook pages, and it's all over the world. And how many times have you seen this thing shared?
A lot.
A lot. It just, the bike is just, it just doesn't go away.
And you know, I mean, like, we're like really privileged that you're so close and you're friends with us that we can have this here and have you here and talk about this thing. This is
I've seen
this
him
is
ride
cool
it.
shit.
I've seen him actually ride this thing.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is the finish date. So I started in 2020, and then, you know, everything takes a long time, right? But then you started advertising. You were doing your vintage riding.
Vintage riding.
Rick's
Oh,
Vintage
right.
Riding.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now you know, now I have a deadline, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have to finish it
Yeah.
for that show, and that's what we did. We pushed and pushed, and I was calling Mike for stuff I was missing the
Odds and
days
ends.
before.
I'm digging through boxes, moving rat poop out of the way.
Overnighting stuff from all around the globe.
Yeah.
But got it together and showed up to
To the show. And it was great. And it was a hit in the
That
show.
was-
wrote it to the show.
Wrote it to the show.
Wrote it to the
Shipped
show.
Which is huge.
Loose bolts and all.
Yeah, there are a couple of things not.
So sorry to interrupt, but these guys couldn't stop talking about the bike, so we have to break this up into two parts. Come back next week for the exciting conclusion to Vinny's H2.